It's the NFL on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the NFC East. It's the Giants and the football team, next on Madden Football.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the New York Giants. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, you look at our quarterback matchup in this ball game, that's where the focus naturally gravitates, and I think we have a fairly interesting one here. Daniel Jones of the Giants, Taylor Heineke of Washington.
And both of them have terrific ability to improvise, and that means when the first read's not there, how quickly can you go through your progressions? Can you hang in there and take a shot as you release it? Can you buy time outside of the pocket? Can you pull it down and run if need be? I think we'll see all of those traits on display in this one.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. DeAndre Carter returning it. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Washington offense ready to take over, and you see Taylor Heineke at the helm in his second season with the football team.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Heineke. This will be caught by Brown. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. So, Charles, this defense in for a tough matchup. What do you think the game plan is here tonight?
Well, I think the game plan is the same as most, which is, hey, pass rushers, do your job. Coverage guys, do your job. And the linebackers are going to be a mix. Sometimes they'll drop in coverage. Sometimes they'll pressure the quarterback. But all in all, you never want to let that quarterback get a string of completions going, because if so, they're hard to deal with, and it makes for a long evening.
64 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. So that run there, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go.
Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissick from 8 yards out. And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Giants ready to go to work on offense, and leading them out, their third-year quarterback from Duke, Daniel Jones.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Well, he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing Jones to Barkley on the check down. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. DeAndre Carter back deep. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Well, as Washington rolls back out here on offense, Charles, let's look back and look ahead for the Washington football team. Remember, 2020, the NFC East was a mess. Washington ended up winning that division with a 7-9 record. Put a decent scare into the Bucs in the wild card round, but obviously Tampa went on to win that game. Do you see Washington as the NFC East favorites in 2021?
I absolutely do. And, you know, the head coach, Ron Rivera, knows how to win. They added Ryan Fitzpatrick for stability at the quarterback position. Antonio Gibson makes a big leap at running back. I think he's a 1,000-yard rusher if he stays healthy. I love Terry McLaurin out wide. And then they added Curtis Samuels, who played with him at Ohio State. I like what they've done there, but that defense is the key. Best defensive front in the NFC East, maybe in all of football. And they had the Defensive Rookie of the Year last year in Chase Young. And in Week 1 against the Chargers, he chases the Offensive Rookie of the Year in quarterback Justin Herbert.
To throw again on second down, Heineke. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Looking to throw, Heineke. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
On second down, here's Barkley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On second down, Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And the Washington offense heading out. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, Heineke. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. Call it a pickup of 7, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Heineke now. Pressure gets there on Heineke, and down he goes. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Nifty move. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 41, Jones looking for Shepard deep. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot, and if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there, and sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Throwing, Heineke. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Heineke. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards there on a Washington first.
Logan Thomas experienced a breakout season last year at the age of 29. Converted from playing quarterback, he finished 3rd among tight ends with 72 catches, and it certainly looks like his future is awfully bright.
On 1st and 10, Heineke. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Heineke. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Just like that. Just like that.
Heineke again. And as he throws, he lost the football. It's loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. There he goes left side. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery on Giants touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here's Carter now on the return. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And the Washington offense going back to work.
I can't hear you.
Heineke now looking to throw on 1st down. Man open left side is Brown. That catch good for only a couple.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Heineke. That's into the hands of his tight end Bates. His first catch good for 8 and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Gibson here running out of the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Heineke. A throw left side caught here by the tight end Bates. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. To throw is Heineke. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
And that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
They'll run with Gibson.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Jones to Golladay there for a Giant first.
And that's a much-needed completion right there on 3rd down. Really a sigh of relief, isn't it? They're backed up deep. You know they don't want to give the ball back to the other guys with great field position. They needed that throw, that completion, that first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
A first down carry for Barkley. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Jones. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
There's Jamin Davis, the former Kentucky Wildcat, bringing the pressure that time.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Jones now on 3rd down.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. And instead, it's 4th down.
Here's Riley Dixon now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10.
At their own 37.
Heineke to throw it. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Well, CD, something that we've done for a number of years as the season gets going is we get predictions on each side. Let's start with the AFC. Who do you have in 2021 as your division winners?
Well, let's go to the East, and I think Buffalo repeats, although New England, they got better in the offseason, and despite starting a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones, I think they'll make a nice run at the Buffalo Bills this year. In the North, what a battle you have there. 3-way. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I like Baltimore to still win the division, but Cleveland will be right there, and Pittsburgh will make a run at the playoffs. In the South, I think it's Tennessee's division to lose. Indianapolis had a number of injuries in the offseason, and Jacksonville and Houston, they're trying to get there. And then out West, it's still Kansas City. But I love what the Los Angeles Chargers have done in the offseason.
All right, CD, and then if you had to pick, who do you have winning the AFC?
Well, I'm going to go against type here, Brandon, because teams aren't supposed to sustain as long as the Kansas City Chiefs have. But despite a retooled offensive line, I do think that they get back there again. What happened to them in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, that serves as great motivation. They want to get back and atone themselves.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
New York's offense back out there and set to go.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
2nd down and 8.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
And this offensive line, as we all remember, allowed 50 sacks last year, tied for the 2nd most in the NFL. They vowed new techniques, a few new players, but so far, not quite getting it done.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Now, they took a real chance there, throwing deep from their own end zone.
Yeah, just think about it this way. If you take that shot, which they just did, you're giving those pass rushers an extra chance to get you. Your escape hatch behind you is gone because the end line is there. Yet at the same time, they took the gamble, and boy, did it pay off.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Buying time to his left. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw. Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And despite missing 4 games in 2020, Sterling Shepard tied his career high with 66 catches, and that led all Giant receivers, and he makes a nice catch there.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
That's to Galladay, and he's got it. Touchdown, New York. Kenny Galladay
there to make the grab. And the Giants have taken the lead.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out in the field charged up and ready to go.
Gano for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Oh, yeah.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 82 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Heineke. A throw to the flat here from McKissick. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Get him, boys!
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Washington on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw here. Got him in. It's Brown. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. Touchdown! Logan Thomas, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. New York ready to go again offensively. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now Jones. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Montez Sweat. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back and forth first half that we've seen. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Washington ready to try again on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Hey, let's go back, Charles, to your preseason predictions. You gave us what you thought on the AFC. How about the NFC side in 2021?
All right, how about the Washington football team winning the NFC East? I think in the North, Green Bay comes back and represents again. In the South, Tampa Bay, who finished second in their division last year to New Orleans, they win the division this time.
Pressure gets there on Heineke, and down he goes. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now after the sack, Heineke and the Washington offense going to face a tough 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Gibson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And possession switching back to the New York Giants. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Throwing, Jones. Being chased, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chase Young. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Jones, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. A first down throw for Heineke. And Thomas has it. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for the Giants. And they were able to find some success running the football, which is something they'll need to continue to do in a close game like this one. Meanwhile, for Washington, here's a look at their numbers throwing the football in what was a very even first half.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. They had no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Jones throwing deep for Galladay. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So a stop here defensively to start this third quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
Here's Riley Dixon now, standing just outside his own goal line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. First possession of the second half now for Washington. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing, Heineke. Flush to his right.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Check. 48 months.
Heineke now. That's out to the flat for Gibson.
Well, he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
On 1st and 10, Heineke.
Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw again on second down.
Heineke.
Pass caught left side by Humphries. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Adam Humphries spent 4 years in Tampa and 2 in Tennessee. Knows how to operate out of the slot and find his way open downfield. Makes a good catch there.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Gibson.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
That's an excellent stop right there here in this tie game. They're doing their best to hold the fort and at least force a field goal attempt.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Looking to throw. Heineke. Touchdown, Washington.
J.D. McKissick, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And Washington has taken the lead.
See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 21-14. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Here we go.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Tackle made by Chase Young.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and 9, Jones steps away to his left. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Barkley. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Jamin Davis, the rookie 1st-round pick, in on the tackle.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 2nd down now, Barkley. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the 1st half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by Blake Martinez. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And his shot downfield on second down is brought in. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A first down there on a pickup at 25. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
First down, Heineke. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Only needing 2 yards on second down. Now Heineke. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Bates. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
After the sack on first down, Heineke looking for McLaurin, and he's got him.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Heineke to throw it. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on third down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected fourth down here.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. New York set to take the field. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Jones. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Chase Young in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a give to Gibson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Washington on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down.
Back to throw. Jones. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he will not be able to hang on to the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. De'Ami Brown, the intended receiver.
And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
You think about this strong safety position, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
And that's one as a defender where you never take your eyes off the quarterback. You're not looking for blockers or worrying about running into one of your own men. You just take dead aim and sprint directly to him, and it paid off on that play.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. Washington on 3rd down.
Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 7.
Play action now. Here's Heineke.
Thomas has got it. Complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
2nd, 3rd levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. Heineke now from the 50. That one caught by the tight end Bates.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On 2nd and inches.
Heineke.
And this will be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
13 yards there and a Washington first.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. On 1st down, it's Gibson. Fighting through. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Gibson again.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down,
Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker.
a loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
And they'll try to throw now. Heineke.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. They trail by 2 scores in the 4th, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Now time to see what this offense has left in the tank. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Oh, good move. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Flush to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
2nd and 2. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 67 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. Jones. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. The intended target, Saquon Barkley. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jones. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Montez Sweat able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now Jones throwing on 3rd and long. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, just an absolute killer. A chance to get this back within 1 score.
All hope not gone yet. But at the same time, you're exactly right. They needed to get back within 1 score and have a motivated defense take the field in order to get it back for them for one last big drive.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And even with the missed field goal that we just saw, they still have to try and erase a 2-score 4th quarter deficit. They'll run on first down. It's Gibson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Running jet sweep here, Humphreys. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
A handoff for Gibson.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Heineke.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin there to make the grab.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
From the 6. And he returns this to the 22.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing, Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Here's Jones throwing on first down. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They'll look to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is fourth down. And they'll run for it with Barkley. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
The one thing I have learned about this league, more and more, you've got to take some chances. You know, if you play everything conservatively and play everything exactly like, okay, I know what to do in each situation, I don't think you're going to get very far. I love the call there, going for it, even on his own side of the field.
Yeah, and even though you're on your own side of the field, they were creeping towards midfield, so not as crazy as if they were back at their own 20.
Showed a little faith in the defense too, right?
Yep. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
To throw again on second down. Jones. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Jones from the gun on third down. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St. Juste. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. So It's Washington getting the victory here.
And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.